serious issue with Prism. It crashed every time I was trying to change the stream categories. I had to do it elsewhere. So we're starting our third sort of module for Mothership, A Pound of Flesh. Sooner or later, everybody plays. So I think I mentioned yesterday that I had been slightly spoiled on this, so I was aware that this would be on a station as opposed to the other one. Well, the last one was on multiple places, including a ship, a moon, and on the planet itself. But the first one was mainly on a planet. So population, 5.6 million, and it looks like an additional 3.1 million. So this is quite a large place. Was not quite expecting that, as the populated areas you encountered elsewhere were quite small. Ships currently docked 1D100 with advantage. Its diameter is almost 13 kilometers and the circumference is a little over 40 kilometers. It has 23 docking bays and 78 decks on the outer ring and 430 decks on the center column. So some locations, one dry dock for docking and repairs, 10,000 credits per week, plus an additional fee of 1,000 credits to docks. 2 tax 10 credits a day per person. 2 tax, oxygen tax is 10 credits a day per person. Stellar Burn, room and drinks, R&R. Please ask for Sam. 3, the Chop Shop, Cybermod installation and repair by Xenia, and the Babushka. Kind of interesting. Well, maybe there's a narrative reason for it that just 3 is just out here all on its own, but the rest of them are more or less in order from left to right. For the icebox, slickware installation and resleeving facility. 5, the farm, the Dreams food supply, run by the Solarian Church, easy place to buy drugs. 6, Canyon Heavy Market, information market by an elite hacking crew. 7, the court, disputes resolved and justice served through brutal combat, easiest place to find the Dreams top power brokers. 8, Tempest Company HQ, powerful mercenary company security on board the Dream. Oh, the station's name is Prospero's Dream. Top Dock Town, deoxygenated people's town, heavily guarded debtors prison for those who can't pay the oxygen tax. 10, the Choke, abandoned quarantined wasteland, houses Dock Town. Basics. Prospera's Dream is a massive station with a population of over 8 million. It's haphazard, disorganized, overcrowded, and teeming with hustlers and criminals of all stripes. The Dream is operated by the Galliano II Bravta, a powerful criminal syndicate headed by a meticulous android named Yandy. Backed by the elite Tempest Mercenary Company, together they sell the lucrative drug Sycorax, which is supplied by the Solarian Church and distributed by the Teamsters Local 32819L. How do you board this station? Ships of Class 3 or lower can enter, oh yeah, no, it did go up to Class 5, but yeah, so most ships can enter through the dry dock. Once inside, the ships are attached and locked into the station via crane and stored in the stacks until ready for departure, or else transported to the dry dock for repairs. Ships Class 4 or greater must be moored to the station's piers. After the ship is moored, a shuttle is sent to retrieve anyone coming aboard. Every ship is required to have an up-to-date manifest, which includes captain, crew, and cargo. IDs are checked upon entry, and discrepancies in the manifest can lead to invasive searches from greedy agents, an impounded vehicle, or in the worst case, arrest. Those who can't afford fees or who find themselves arrested are sent to the court to await trial by combat. Losing a trial means death or being sent to the dreaded choke, gigantic O2 debtors prison housed in the bowels of the Dream. If the crew only wants to refuel, they don't have to pay the docking fee, though they can't disembark. What happens when the crew boards? Upon disembarking, crews are directed by a station android to a clean room, where a squad of hazmat-clad brutes strip search and spray them with disinfectant for stress. After decontamination, they are issued an oxygen cred stick, which acts as a wallet, passport, and locator aboard the station. It must be preloaded with credits, and any debts or purchases are automatically deducted from it. Taxes and fees are automatically withdrawn daily. Q Team, Combat 25. They have a disinfecting foam gun, body saver do knock down, or a pulse rifle. Instinct is 25, and wounds are 2. A little bit on the low side, but just enough to not want your players to be messing with them. What are the laws aboard the Dream? The rules of the Dream are as follows. Have your oxygen cred stick on you at all times. Your movements are tracked. Contraband list. Laser cutters, explosives, signal jammers, contagious bioweapons, EMP. This list is subject to change. You can keep non-hull piercing weapons, but other weapons must be stowed in a weapon locker. 1 credit a day per weapon. The key is tied to the renter's fingerprint, so don't lose it. Don't enter unauthorized areas, particularly the choke. Everyone else is left to the parties involved. Street justice is pervasive. Anything more substantial, including breaches of the Dream's laws, are handled by Tempest Company and the court. So those first two were covered on the earlier page, but additional fees might be seller's license, 2,000 credits, allows selling of goods aboard the Dream. Without this, the crew can only make purchases. And for bribes, minor bribes are 2d10 times 10 credits, major bribes are 2d10 times 10,000 credits. Refueling costs 1d5, the amounts listed on the Shipbreaker's Toolkit. Reroll monthly. And then the note of advice at the bottom was just to feel free to make notes in the book, which, okay. How to use this module. This isn't like, well, uh, you said that the last time. Well, it was true, but, if all of the modules you make aren't like your typical module, then are any modules typical? Players don't beat it, though they may survive it. Well, that's quite like the last one. There is maybe possibly one outcome that I saw that wasn't a complete fail state, and that was still not great. So I think the first one, though, you could kind of win, I guess. There were outcomes in the first module we covered that would, I think, feel like success if you got to them. In fact, if your players want, they don't even have to interact with anything on the station. They can stop in for some quick shore leave or make the Dream their home base for a campaign. That's great. That's the module working. If they want to investigate more, they can. There are details here to discover and plots to unravel. As for why visit the Dream, here's a few ideas to get you started. Joining the Tempest Mercenary Company and going on missions for them. It's a great way to earn a lot of credits and gain benefits from ranking up. Become a druid for the Goliano II Bratva, the ruthless criminal organization led by the cold-blooded Yandy. Install off-the-market cyber mods from the Babushka. Protect your future with a backup sleeve or expand your mind in one of the lifelike VR slick bays at the Icebox. Take the edge off with some potent drinks, drugs, and company at the Stellar Burn. Ask for Sam. Visit the Arnival Kea, the oldest living tree aboard the space station. Fight for someone's freedom, or perhaps your own, in the court and earn some credits while you're at it. And then the note says, in a campaign, make them fall in love with the Dream. And in one shot, make them hate it. What if I'm running a one-shot? Prospero's Dream works best as a base of operations in an ongoing campaign, but it's also good for a pick-up-and-play group. Here are a few recommendations for running content from Pound of Flesh as a one-shot. Look up one of the important people and pick a job they're offering. Run just that job as the one-shot. Build a session around an event from the timeline. Both life support and the burrows can be ripped straight from this module and run standalone. The burrows can even be quickly converted to a custom bug hunt with a little elbow grease. The Tempest Company's mission table is ripe for plundering for inspiration. After the crew docks and gets rest, all hell breaks loose. Start players off in Phase 3 of any of the 3 major storylines, have them fight their way back to their ship in an attempt to escape from Prospero's Dream. So what's going on here? Everything in this book is for the Warden to take and run with. There's no canonical Prospero's Dream, only what happens at your table. That being said, we've written 3 evolving storylines, or crises, that the players can engage with or ignore. 1. The impending Teamsters strike. Ex-pilot Reedmar runs Teamsters Local 32819L, which makes money largely by distributing the lucrative drug Sycorax for Yandy Vor of the powerful criminal empire Goliano II Bratva. However, tensions between the two groups are at an all-time high after a small fleet of Reedmar's freighters are held ransom by the rival Stratmeyer Syndicate. The Yandy refuse to pay the ransom, and Local 32819L can't afford to hire Tempest to rescue the hostages. If a solution isn't found, the Teamsters organize a general strike and steal what remains of Sycorax for themselves. Ultimately, the syndicate's goal is to corner the Sycorax market, and they will pay a high price to anyone who can determine how it is made or where it comes from. 2. Unrest in the choke. Those who can't afford to pay the daily oxygen tax are sent deep below the bowels of the dream into the choke, where oxygen is scarce and life short. This brutal prison houses millions living in destitute squalor. However, revolution is coming. Imogen Kane and her insurgent resistance, the Hungalungs, are planning to overthrow their Tempest Company guards and retake the dream in a bloody revolution. Terrorist attacks are becoming more frequent. And the Tempest Company and the Novas are responding in kind. It's only a matter of time before war breaks out. 3. ACMD outbreak. 2 decades ago, Dr. Emil Boncali brought his terminally ill daughter, Ariel, to the dream in hopes of curing her rare disease through bleeding-edge cybermod treatments. Unfortunately, the treatments didn't work, and Dr. Boncali resorted to inhumane experiments in the hopes of keeping his daughter alive. He inadvertently gave birth to an outbreak of a new disease, acute cybernetic mutagenic disorder, which infects individuals with cybermods, slowly them transforming them into cybernetic beings that then merge to become one with a being called Caliban. Yeah, okay, sure. A bit on the nose with, the name of the station, but we'll go with it. Boncali was the first to succumb, and has merged with the station itself and is in fact Caliban. As more people become infected, Caliban gains more power over the station until eventually he and the dream become one singular grotesque organism. The note says, don't be intimidated by the phases. You don't have to get them right to have fun. 3 phases. We've divided each of these storylines into 3 phases, with a couple of events happening in each phase. These events are loosely defined, so you can use them in a few different ways depending on your playstyle. Current events, news, rumors, or background flavor each time players visit the dream. Potential seeds for play. The players can investigate and try to solve the crises, preventing them from spiraling to their conclusions. Session fodder. Wardens can build missions around one of the important people who have a hand in the dream's affairs. Ignored entirely. You don't need this book. We recommend spacing the events at a pace that works for your table. In a campaign, 1 event per session spent on the dream is enough. For an intense one-shot, you can follow one storyline all the way to its conclusion. When all the events of a phase have happened, move on to the next. If the players manage to solve a storyline, further events in that storyline will not happen. Finally, this module is a tinderbox, not a roadmap. Not everything is spelled out. For example, is a Stratmeyer syndicate? And where are they holding Reedmar's fleet? Who is Kane? And what does she want, ultimately? These are questions you'll need to answer yourself. Phase alterations. You'll notice these phase alterations boxes spread throughout the module in most of the locations. They outline how the location can be modified based on what phase or storyline you're in. Not every phase or storyline will be listed. These are meant to be little flourishes to add to the reactiveness of the module. They're not meant to be prescriptive, and if you miss one, it's not game-breaking. Infection checks. Unless the ACMD outbreak is cured, curing might have to make infection checks when contacting other infected, punching a hazard suit in the choke. To make an infection check, first make a save. On failure, the character becomes infected and their infection level increases by 1. Once per day, they make a body save instead of resting to reduce infection by 1. 1d5 on a critical success. On failure, the infection increases by 1. 1d5 for a critical failure. So at the beginning of the infection, you have a weak immune system, all body saves at disadvantage. Well, that's pretty brutal since you need your body save to fight the infection off. 2. Once a day, make a body save or go into a coughing fit for 1d5 rounds. Anyone within close range must make an infection check. 3. Fever and chills suffer 1d5 damage per day. 4. Gain a random mutation. Well, let's roll for a couple of these and see what kind of things we're looking at here. So we're starting with 76. Half a face melts away, revealing metal skull. 37. A limb consumed by mods, misshapen metal mass. 72. Heavy organic sac swells across your hunchback. 88. Spines grow out of your arm bones. We'll do one more. 67. Neck grows an extra foot and is sheathed in metal. 5. Frailty. All strength and speed checks are at disadvantage. Gain another mutation. 6. Suffer 1d10 damage per day. Endure a random malfunction. 36. Irritating. Itches, twitches, and sends chills down your spine. Stress reduction is half. 85. Fragile, prone to breakage. Whenever you critically fail a body save, the mod breaks down. Requires a 10% base cost to repair. 23. Ghastly. People are unnerved to have you around and stare at you, +2 minimum stress. 56. Painful, constant source of chronic pain. Health restoration through rest or otherwise is half. We'll do one last one. 70, no. Nope. Well, 7, panic check, with advantage. Oh, no, advantage on reaping checks until cured. Not sure what reaping is, but I guess we'll find out later. Gain another mutation. 8. Install 1 cyber mod per week or gain 1d10 stress and gain another mutation. 9. Once a day, make a body save or spew an infectious nanoswarm. All in close range must make an infection check at disadvantage and gain your final mutation. 10. Lose control of the character and transform into a choke spawn. So, timeline of events that happen if the players do nothing. We'll read through one column at a time, starting with the Teamster strike. So the freighter fleet starts off captured, and they demand Yandy send in Tempest Company to rescue them. The Stratmeyer's syndicate sends footage of Teamster executions. Reedmers threatens a general strike if the ransom isn't paid. Strike. Teamsters walk off the job. No ships may leave or enter port. Tempest Company is overworked. Crime is high. Fuel and repairs 5 times normal cost. Tempest Company strikebreakers are called in. Scabs allow some ships to leave. Fuel repairs 2 times cost. Brutal violence breaks out. Teamsters fight back against roving gangs of Novo Droogs and Tempest Company operators. Massive looting and rioting. It's interesting, doesn't actually mention where in this the Teamsters steal the drug. 2. Unrest in the choke. Footage of Hunglings demanding all oxygen debt in the choke be paid off in 24 hours or bombings will commence. Bombings then occur in a random module. 2D100 dead. Tempest Company begins to search and seize citizens at random. Uka is unmasked as Doptown rebel sympathizer patron. Standoff at the farm between Tempest Company and the church. The choke is quarantined. No one allowed out for any reason. Oxygen debts doubled on all citizens of Doptown until leaders turned themselves in. Citizens from Doptown overrun the guards at the airlock. War erupts in the corridors. Tempest Company armored troopers butcher civilians. Finally, the ACMD outbreak. Body save against infections are at advantage. Reports, I guess I would even out if you're at 1. Mysterious figure roaming the slick worlds. 2D10 die in strange sick bay accident. First choke spawn caught on the station. Rumors that the ACMD plague comes through the air filters from the choke. Packs of choke spawn roam the corridors. Body save against infection normal. Q-teens extort newcomers. Sycorax scarce. Every 24 hours in a random location is taken over by Caliban. Husks and choke spawn run rampant. Every inch of the dream begins to morph. Metallic eyes and faces appear. Corridors become giant throats. Caliban has taken over. So we are out of time for today. It looks like we'll start off next time with finding out more in detail some of the leading personalities on the station. However, that won't be tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not sure. I kind of feel we should do the next plain art book, but I kind of don't want to because I didn't like that first one. Although the other ones I have are all from my, more or less favorite plays, so maybe I'd enjoy that one better. So yeah, we'll probably move on to our next art book tomorrow. And that's it for today.